Shalom, I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, and the honors to the apostles and others, great millstone. And salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother, I am Noah Allah from GMS Chicago. And I'm going to go ahead and do a quick lesson about, well, really a review about the movie that I just recently watched called Killers of the Flower Moon. And that movie was actually based upon a true story of the Osage murders. And it was a real sad story because Gad had a lot of wealth in the Americas. You know, Gad had a lot of wealth in the Americas because they owned a lot of oil and they were rich off of that oil. But here you got E. E came into the Americas and technically killed off the majority of Gadites and basically steal their wealth by using deception. And it says here in the Osage murders, estimates vary, but approximately 24 Osage Indians died violent or suspicious deaths during the early 1920s. The majority of these crimes occurred in or near Fairfax and were rarely investigated by local authorities. Some were never solved. The deaths of some alleged victims who lacked discernible wounds were simply ascribed to indigestion, peculiar wasting, illness, or causes unknown. And really, all these Gadites that were actually getting killed by all these unknown causes of deaths were actually getting poisoned and getting diseases from Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And it shows you that in the movie too, in Killers of the Flower Moon. The killing subsided after the arrest of William K. And in that movie, William K. is the main antagonist. You know, remember this movie was based upon a true story. So basically, all these characters that are being played in the movie were all these names of these characters that were being played in the movie. All these people were once alive in the early 1920s. But yeah, it says the killings subsided after the arrest of William K. Hale in 1926. And William K. Hale was the main antagonist, and he is the one who devised this plan and was actually the one that was doing all the murders behind closed doors. A native of Greenville, Texas, Hale, the self-proclaimed king of the Osage Hills, was perhaps Osage country's most powerful figure, an affluent rancher with banking and business interests. He held political power and was active in Osage affairs. Supposedly William K. was active in Osage affairs, but that's what Esau wants you to think. Esau wants you to think that they're good people. Esau wants you to think that they were actually for you, but really, Esau uses deception against you, Jakes, to murder you and to steal your inheritance. And it shows you in that movie too. You have E was killing off Gad by using deception to steal Gad's wealth, which is you so-called Native Americans. He was also the mastermind of a plot to acquire Osage wealth through murder. And yeah, Esau was blessed with a sword, and he used that to the best of his advantage with deception to steal Gad's wealth. And it's a real sad story. Gad's wealth was stolen, and mainly, Gadites, a lot of Gadites were killed during that time. But anyways, I'm going to bring y'all Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. You have the northern and southern kingdom that are oppressed together, which is you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. and took them captives and held them fast, and they refused to let them go. And since we have sinned against the Lord put these curses upon us and scattered us upon the four corners of the earth, and we served our enemies, and yeah, we were put into captivity under our enemies. But yeah, in this history, in this article, it tells you that this Edomite, William K, was the mastermind of this plot to acquire Osage, the Osage wealth through murder, and to kill Gad with by to kill Gad to ultimately steal their inheritance, and by also using deception to steal their inheritance, which is real fucked up. Damn. Well, yeah, it says here in Micah 2:1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, and when the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. And Esau, he practices these things. They devise iniquity, they work evil upon their beds, they practice it, and they put it to use against you, Jakes. Rather to kill off you, Jakes, or to make money off of you by deceiving you and stealing your inheritance, your wealth, and all that stuff. Verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and Esau is blessed with the sword. He takes Jake's inheritance by violence, and houses, and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And even Esau steal Jake's heritage. Even unto this very day, um, you have those small hats that are proclaiming that they are the Lord's chosen people, but when really the scriptures is actually talking about you, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are actually the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. And yeah, he was actually doing this also in the movie as well. They were coveting fields and they take them by violence. They were killing off Gad one by one by using deception and by drugging them, by getting Gad drunk, giving them the diseases, increasing their insulin level so that they can gain high blood pressure and gain diabetes. And yeah, Esau was actually doing a pretty good job deceiving Gad at that time and stealing the wealth. And it shows you the true, and this movie shows you the true nature of Esau. But here is Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, Slaki, I'm going to start with Slaki. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. And the serpent is actually going into speaking about a person. Really, if you go ahead and look in Google real quick, you can just search up the word serpent. It says a sly or treacherous person, especially one who exploits a position of trust or in order to betray it. And William K. in this movie, and in this history in general, is basically a great example of one to be described as a serpent, because he was real treacherous, and really Esau is treacherous by nature. But yeah, and the word is in treacherous, it says guilty of or involving betrayal or deception. And deception actually goes into deceiving a person. You know, it says the action of deceiving someone. And Esau is real good at using deception. Esau is real good at deceiving Jake. And when you watch this movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Esau was deceiving Gad real good to steal their wealth. You go into that word subtle again. So now we know who the serpent is, which is really speaking about Esau, so-called white man. Let's go ahead and look in the word subtle. It means, the word subtle means shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible. And it basically shows you the same definition, It says clever at achieving one's aims by indirect or deceitful methods. And that what Esau is great at doing. He's great at using deception against you, Jakes. But yeah, it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. So here you go again. Esau is using his deception against Eve. And this goes to show you that Eve was the beginning of sin. Verse 5. For God doth know in that day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And yeah, you got Eve, uh, the Israelite woman. You got Eve eating that forbidden fruit, which really that forbidden fruit is actually Esau's philosophy and his deception. Basically, you got Eve, the Israelite woman, take on Esau's ways, and that's how our woman went off first, by getting deceived by the serpent, which is Esau Edom. Verse 6, and the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise. And she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband, and with her, and he did eat. And yeah, in this movie too, Killers of the Flower Moon, you had this woman named Molly. She's a Gadite, and she knew that Esau, the so-called white man, was one not to be trusted. So they Molly and her sisters and whatnot, they would go ahead and talking about that. Oh no, they're just snakes. They're just out there to get your wealth. But since our women are such raccoons, they still took on Esau's ways, and basically had so much Stockholm syndrome for them that they got deceived by Esau. And that's how it goes to where the majority of these Gadites were starting to get killed off, because they had Stockholm syndrome for Esau, and Esau is one not to be trusted. The scriptures tell you not to trust thy enemy. You have Esau using all these methods to kill Gad and to steal their wealth by using deception. And watching this movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, is a great example of seeing all that. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but what was in his heart, his words were softer than oil, yet they drawn swords. And this movie shows you a lot about this as well. Even though you have William K. that was behind the entire plot of killing Gad to steal their wealth, yet you got William K. trying to pose as if he's with Gad, but really, William K was just there to oppress you, Jake, and steal your wealth by using deception. He would try to be your friend, but really, in their mind, they truly hate you, Jakes. All right. And just looking at this history, the Osage murder shows you a very clear picture of that. That Esau is not really for you, Jakes, at all. And here's Psalms chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And Esau is real good at doing that. Esau is real good at lying. Esau is real good at using deception against you, Jakes. Like again, the scriptures tell you not to trust thy enemy. And looking at this video shows you a real good example why to not trust thy enemy. Esau is your enemy, all right? Daniel chapter 8 verse 24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. He shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And yeah, Esau was really fucking Gad up. Esau was really messing with Gad big times during that time period by poisoning you Gadites, by deceiving you Gadites, by increasing your blood pressure, by giving you Gadites all these kinds of pestilences, these diseases. Verse 25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. And yeah, Esau was really destroying a lot of Gadites by using peace, but by using that method of deception against you Gadites. And even unto this day, Esau still uses deception to destroy many of you Jakes too. Supposedly you got, yeah, even unto this very day, you see Edomites that may look like that they're for you Jakes, but really, this entire time, they're actually destroying you Jakes by using deception against you Jakes. I'll keep reading. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And Esau won't get away from all the wickedness that he has done against the Israelites, the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Because in the scriptures also tell you that the Lord requires that which has passed. Esau, he can't escape from the wicked. Esau can't escape from judgment at all. But anyways, I really suggest that you can go ahead and watch that movie, because it just shows you the true nature of Eve. And when you watch this movie, you have you have all these precepts coming through your mind, showing you that Eve is the devil. So-called white man is the devil. They're very crafty. They shows you how Esau is one not to be trusted. So it even reminds you who your enemy is too. And you can go ahead and read the rest of this article. It shows you the rest of the history of what happened during the Osage murders. And I really like watching the movie too, especially because it just shows you a bigger picture of what was happening. But it isn't too bad to read through this article either. I just read it too, and it's a real sad story that just that happened in real life. All of it was based upon a true story. But anyways, hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.